Hey everybody, it's Amrinder Singh. Today we will learn a Punjabi word named marna, right? So it's a verb. So how can you use this word in Punjabi sentences? So basically, marna means to kill somebody or to hit somebody. So how would you know it is mean hit or kill? Well, it depends on the sentence. So what kind of situation are you using it? For example, if somebody kills two people, how can you say that in Punjabi? Well, you can say like, "One do jane marte." One do jane marte. So here, jane means people. If you didn't know what the meaning of jane, actually you can listen my another podcast where I explain the word jane. Jane means people, but there's a situation, a specific situation where you can use jane. You can't use jane for people all the time. So make sure you check out that podcast. So when it comes to hit, right? If somebody hits you, how can you say that? You can say like he hit me, right? So in Punjabi, ਉਹਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਮਾਰਿਆ. ਉਹਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਮਾਰਿਆ. So in this case, other person get the meaning because he hit you, right? It means like he didn't kill you, because if you killed, you are not telling that person the story, right? So it's mean like he hit you. And another thing to notice, when we use this verb marna in the past, right? So if somebody hits somebody, it's going to be a maria, right? Maria. But if somebody killed somebody, it's in marta. For example, if you told somebody, if you wanna say somebody hits you and you wanna say it in Punjabi, if you say "One menu marta," right? And other person was shocked, like, you were here, like, how did he kill you, right? You were in front of me and you are saying it wrong. Instead of saying "One menu marta," you need to say "One menu maria." So basically, if you heard this verb in past, and if it is a marta, so mostly like to be when somebody killed something, right? But if it's a maria, then it's mean hit. All right, so see the difference in past. If marta is killed, if it's maria, then it means hit. All right. And another thing you need to notice or keep in mind, it also depends on feminine word or masculine word. If it's feminine one, then it's going to be a marti instead of marta, and instead of maria, it's going to be mari. All right, it's if it's feminine word, but if it's masculine, then a marta or maria. All right. So guys, verbs are very important in Punjabi language because verbs decides like it's a plural or it's a singular, it's a male or it's a female. Like we use pronoun O for he, she, they, so on, right? So how would you know we use it for he or she or they, right? Well, you would know through the verbs. That's why it's important. So because if it is like if we are talking about he, then verb is going to be a little different than she. It's going to be a little different than they, all right? So now, how would you use this word in a slang, right? The word marna, how would you use it in slang? In slang, we use for different activities. So, for example, if somebody jumps, right? If somebody jumped from whatever, right? So, jump means chal in Punjabi. So, we say "One chal mari." It means he jumped, right? "One chal mari." So, here we are using the word mari because it's a feminine word. Chal is a feminine word. So, that's why I use mari instead of maria. All right. So "One chal mari." So now, so it means didn't kill or hit. It means like he did that activity, right? Because it looks like he, when he like a jump, so he put the force to the ground. So it's kind of like a marna, right? So it means he did that activity, right? It didn't mean like he killed a jump. No, it's not mean that. It's mean he jumped. So now maybe you notice even he is a masculine word, he's a male, right? So but I used mari as feminine. Why I used it? Because here the main subject is not he. So main here is a shall. Shall means jump, right? So jump is main. So he did that activity. Because of that activity, it was a feminine word of that activity. So that's why I used Mari, not Maria, alright? So I know it is a little bit complicated to understand feminine and masculine words, plural and singular. Actually, I'll make more podcast about it in the future. So make sure you follow this podcast. And if you haven't followed my YouTube channel, you can also follow that channel. Link is in the description because I'll also make more video on that channel about masculine and feminine words and about like tenses in Punjabi, how we use tenses in informal language, right? So what is the difference between formal and informal language? So I will describe it step by step through this podcast and through the video lesson on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe and follow. So anyway, let's back to the topic. So another example, like if somebody sneeze, you can say one shake mari. It means he sneezed, right? Or if you sneezed, you can say main shake mari. It means I sneezed. So shake means sneeze, right? So marna with that activity. So that's the slang. That's how we say one shake mari. All right. So did you notice I'm using Mari here because Sikh is also feminine word, so that's why it's Mari. So here it means like I did that activity, not it didn't mean I killed something. All right. Another example, for example, you were hungry, but when you drink the tea and you were no longer hungry, right? In that case, you can say ਚਾਹ ਨੇ ਮੇਰੀ ਭੁੱਖ ਮਾਰਤੀ. ਚਾਹ ਨੇ ਮੇਰੀ ਭੁੱਖ ਮਾਰਤੀ. Phukh means hunger, right? So here like it's mean the tea kills my hunger. So here it means kill, right? Tea kills my hunger. So are you noticing how we use this Punjabi word marna in different sentences? So that's how we use it. Depends on the situation and the sentence. Another example, if somebody hits you and he makes you injured, so you wanna say like he injured me, so you can say in Punjabi ਉਹਨੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਸੱਟ ਮਾਰੀ. ਉਹਨੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਸੱਟ ਮਾਰੀ. So here sat means injured, so sat is a feminine word, so that's why I use mari. ਉਹਨੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਸੱਟ ਮਾਰੀ. It means he injured me. So let's take some examples of future. How would you use this word in future? Well, it's in future it's going to be a maruga, right? O shall maruga. It means he will jump. O shall maruga. So here I'm not using marugi. If it's a female, then O shall marugi, right? O shall maruga. So maybe you're thinking in past like I used one shall mari. I used feminine verb because that time the child was main subject, right? Because he did that activity was the main thing. So but here o shall maruga, here I used maruga because here he is the main, he will do that activity because that activity didn't happen yet, it was not main thing. So main thing was he because he would do that activity, so that's why I used o shall maruga. If there would be a female, then I would say O shall marugi, she will jump, right? So at the end, if you are enjoying my podcast and YouTube videos and you are getting the value from it, and if you want to support me, you can support me on the Patreon and buy me a coffee. And you can also find some extra Punjabi stuff there. So at the end, I hope you enjoyed the lesson and you learned something new today. I'll be back with another lesson another day.